is a Dallas weekend day. The Lone Star Bocce Open is this weekend, as you guys can tell.
Just going to hold this baby up real quick.
Sipping my burb. Dressed up as little cowboys, although I feel like I look like a hipster Zorro, Dante. But
I'm already waiting for the Brokeback Mountain comments. Go for it. That was a hit movie. Say what you want.
Absolutely. But yeah, this is episode 38, guys. Welcome to the Bocce Bros podcast, where we continue to promote the legacy and future of bocce. I'm Chris Lovell. I have two sexy co-hosts today, Dante and Carmenuch.
Yeah.
Oh, look, you got
guys?
is that a little flannel?
Got the flannel and the riding the horse.
Love it. Love it.
Carm, you in a hotel room right now?
Yeah, I'm in Detroit, Michigan, in a hotel room.
You playing a Palazzo?
Kind
or
of the
something?
opposite of. It's the opposite of Texas.
Yeah.
Are you going straight from Detroit to Texas? You're just a man on the move. At least he's in the country this time, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Carmen is always on the move. Well, we have a packed show for you guys. But before we start the show, Dante, let's give a big shout out to our sponsors.
Yes, let's.
You can see those in your top right and left corner. We'll start with Forever Lawn. Forever Lawn improves spaces and communities through innovative synthetic grass solutions. Whether it's for your bocce court, your yard, football field, playground, etc., Forever Lawn specializes in creating the best synthetic grass for all of your needs, as well as watertight roofing systems. Shout out to Joe Palumbo. When local homeowners and commercial property owners want excellent customer service and exceptional roofing, siding, gutter installation, contact the roofing contractor that delivers everything under one roof, and that is
Watertight Roofing Systems. Joe Palumbo.
Contact them at 844-448-ROOF. Again, that's 844-448-ROOF.
That's a double meaning because he's also a dog.
Big dog.
So roof. Shout out to Joe Palumbo.
That's good. But yeah, we are so excited to be with you guys here. If you are tuning in, please comment, questions, comment on what we're discussing, whatever it may be. We always enjoy
Bring him in.
Interacting with you guys. So appreciate you guys listening here. Guys, I just got back from a nice little trip.
Where are you at?
Key West.
Wow.
Ever been?
No, you know what? I don't know if I've ever been to Key West. I've been all around Florida.
Carmenuch, have you?
I've never been, but I've heard great things about it. How was it?
It was great. So, it was somewhat of a last-minute trip, and usually before we go anywhere, I try and look up, what's currently going on in that city, right? Like we went to Boston and in the Nantucket region last year. I saw some Italian festivals were going on, so we went. Did the same thing here, but it was a little late, about a day before, and I see that there's a festival called the Fantasy Fest. So I was like, oh, like what's this? It's a 9-day-long festival.
Mm-hmm.
And I've heard things about Key West. It's a little more loosey-goosey, a little bit more out there.
Florida in general.
Absolutely. And the last 2 days are definitely the craziest, I was told. And we ended up going Friday. So we were there Friday through the next Friday. So that Friday and Saturday, we got to see what it was all about. And basically, because it's surrounded around Halloween, it's Bourbon Street. If you've been to Bourbon Street, times like 10. Everybody's dressed or they're not dressed. There's a lot of people that you didn't want to see have body paint on, a lot of men in thongs. Nice butts, though. I mean, good for them. But, it was absolutely wild.
I think we have to show. People are going to be, well, did you dress up, Chris?
Yeah.
Let's see it.
So go ahead and get me right on this one right here. There we go. All right. So here's the inspiration.
Hold on. Let me give a backstory here. So what happened was Friday we get there. My wife and I are looking around. We're like, this is crazy. We're the only people not dressed. Like, maybe tomorrow we'll break out of our shell and we'll join everybody. So we went to TJ Maxx. Next door to that was a kids store, but they had wigs. So we got some wigs and we became some emo people.
The inspiration. The final product.
Dude, you got to show the video. The video.
Oh my God, I have a video of this?
I'll show it if I have it.
That's
I
classic.
sent it to you and Bobby.
I'm starting to think that Chris secretly knew this was going on and just
Yeah,
didn't tell
maybe.
anybody.
I do like a good costume party. As you could tell, Dante and I did our best giddy up here.
Why not? Why
Absolutely.
not?
Yeah.
Here we are.
I can't find the video. Actually, here it is.
Oh my God.
Because tonight will be the night that I will fall for you over again. Shut up, bitch. This is my song.
I played my full emo character. Of course, I heard smack from all of my friends telling me that I looked
You look good.
a little
You look
flimsy.
great. Yeah.
But anyway, to the main point of the story, if you guys were following us on Instagram, I went on there and I called out Southernmost Bocce. They have an Instagram account, but they haven't posted in about a year, so I was just wondering if they're still around. They have 7 courts down there, right alongside of the ocean. It's a gorgeous view. And Neil from Key West, he's 5th generation Key Wester, and there's not a lot of people on that island, so it's pretty impressive.
That's crazy,
But
actually. Wow.
Yeah. Super cool guy. He reached out. He told me he was one of the better ones on the island. Explained all the championships he has, how he and his dad built the courts, and it's really just a family, community, fun, really gathering spot.
And quick tidbit about Neil. He reached out to us about a year or so ago through Instagram, kind of because he just stumbled across our account and was talking to us a little bit then. He's an interesting guy as well.
Absolutely.
He does, I know, some like videography and photography for professional fishers, bands, amongst other things. So maybe we'll have to get him on the podcast.
So after all the stories I heard, he told me, like, I asked him, like, dude, we got to get you on. You know, he's like, yeah, I'm definitely in. But he basically said, I wanted to reach out to you and play you because I'd love to come up to a tournament. I saw all your guys' streams, all the things you guys do, and you guys play a different game than we do. And I wanted to see basically if I can hold up against, someone. I'm like, well, listen, I'm not definitely not, top 50 or whatever in Northeast Ohio, but we'll see how it goes. So he brought his buddy Cole. Cole is just your typical Key West guy. Showed up with no shirt on, long blonde hair.
God, I'm jealous.
Tattoos, like 9 in the morning. So we played a little King of the Court action. And what was interesting was he was telling me to finesse a ball or bowl a ball, and I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. But basically, finessing is rolling, bowling is shooting, and we discussed that.
Are we allowed to? I mean, I think we're allowed to talk about it. What you asked him to get a coffee before, before, like, hey, let's meet up for a coffee, meet, and then we'll play. And
yeah, so I was like, hey, if you want me to, I told him I'd bring him a coffee on the way in, and he goes, no, dude, I'll be way too excited to play you. And he's like, but I'll have a joint ready for you if you want. And I was like, shit, at 9 a.m. Like, I dabble, but later in the day, I don't know how good I'd be at bocce. So I think he was trying to get me a little loose.
Speaking of, let's take a look at the election poll update, issue 1 and 2. You just see the polls in the bottom of the screen.
We should have done that.
Hey, but check them out on Southernmost Bocce on Instagram. That's the name of them.
Absolutely. Yeah, good dude. We're going to get him up to a tournament. They play back wall is dead. So a lot of, and it was, their line is only 3 feet. Their shooting line is only like 3 or 4 feet. So I was doing the Bruno Croce 2-step shot, which I was pretty accurate. So I'm going to have to move to that, but we'll see. But they definitely roll and play a more finesse game than we do. So I told him, with the way they roll, they're good rollers. I told him come up to one of the Club Molisani tournaments. But then he also said that he'd like to try some open bocce. They're not fans of open bocce. They think you should be good enough to call your shots and hit.
Oh, like
blah,
PRV?
blah, blah.
They play PRV?
No.
Oh,
Back
open.
wall
So like open, but back wall live.
Back wall
you mean.
live. Yeah. So, but yeah, shout out to those guys.
Yeah.
Carmen Nooch, you're in Michigan, right?
Yeah, I'm in Detroit, Michigan.
So you get back.
Nothing fun going on here. I get back late tomorrow night. Fly out to Dallas Thursday after lunch. But yeah, more fun than in Detroit, Michigan. I went down to Shenandoah National Park in Virginia 2 weeks ago. Went on a little hiking trip with my future father-in-law. He had us hiking 12 miles a day. So that was interesting. And it
Why?
was a really good
12
time.
miles a day.
He loves hiking. Would wake us up at 6 a.m. and we were going on a mountain. He'd be like, oh, this one's easy. Literally straight up for like 3 miles. So
Yeah,
it
that's
was
some
a
good
good time.
exercise.
Got some exercise, some fresh air, and beautiful views.
Wonderful.
Recommend you check it out.
So you're going to pass by Ann Arbor, maybe steal some signs on the way home?
Oh, yeah.
Fine. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I just saw something where basically they're saying something about the Big Ten gave a bunch of signs out. So like they're basically saying it was nothing special. I think it's all bull
It's
crap. They've been
yeah.
stealing signs. They're covering it up. They're playing really well. I will give them that. But guess what? If I knew what you were calling in football or baseball, I'd be pretty good too. The Astros 5 years ago, screw that team. They weren't going to win if they weren't stealing signs. That's all I have to say.
Absolutely. So I mean, the thing is, everybody like all these little things keep coming out. Well, other teams might be doing it, this and that, but no one's going to the lengths. You literally had a coach of another team stand on the sidelines of a game that his team wasn't playing in, wearing Ray-Ban sunglasses. I think it was at night, and on top of that, the Ray-Ban sunglasses were the video ones. So there's a camera on them, and you could see the blue light go off. Like that right there is ridiculous. Then you have he's making $50K a year, buying all these tickets, has a whole thing going back and forth. Look, I get sign stealing is normal, especially in game. That makes sense, but this is a whole nother animal, and you could tell by before he got there and what happened after. And the thing that bothers me, I know we're a bocce podcast, but the thing that bothers me is they're like, oh, well, Harbaugh has no connection to it. Harbaugh didn't know. It doesn't fucking matter. First off, he did, because you have a grad coach who has a headset on and he's standing next to the offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator, giving them signals, giving what you just don't know that's going on. Some fit guy making
Right.
$40K a year has all these play call sheets and everything else on the sideline. So I don't know. It's all bogus. Obviously, I'm a big Buckeye fan, so I want to see them burn to the ground.
Burn it. to
When you're
ground.
the guy in charge, it all comes back to you no matter what.
Absolutely.
And it should.
Yeah. Alrighty, we have Lone Star Bocce this weekend, guys. We will touch on that shortly. We have Big E for all of you. You guys all know the man, the myth, the legend. We're really excited to have him on. We're going to shoot him a text here in a little bit to tell him to get on here. But in the meantime, we want to bring up some past winners. We'll start off with the Molisani, what was it, Fall or Autumn Classic?
Yeah, the Fall Classic.
The one and only Mad Cooge. Now, we did talk about it. He did recruit the best after Dante went over to ABV. And we had a little Bocce Bros showdown between ABV and the Chicago team and Cooge. But congrats to Anthony LaBarbera, Leo Gionati, the Cooge, and Maurizio Pirelli. Hopefully I'm pronouncing
Yeah, I'm
all
pretty
of
sure.
that
Yeah, I think
accurately.
you nailed it.
Dante, I don't know if you want to touch on that tournament a little bit, how everything went.
Playing with those guys is definitely a different pace. Meaning, just because I'm always used to our guys, you know. So it was interesting playing with them, seeing how they call different things. Croach, seeing how he saw some certain shots.
So talk about that. How
So
we play compared to how they play.
Let me try to think of a scenario, but there was definitely a couple where it's like, okay, you're thinking of the next ball, but Croach or Dennis were thinking one ball ahead of where you should, it's hard to explain, but
So they're thinking
basically two balls ahead of what in case
What's
this
gonna
ball
go
doesn't
off.
work out, here's what we can do. But nonetheless, they're all good friends. We know them well enough.
yeah.
But they're confident with each other. They don't really have to think too much about certain things. And also, they could have played with a freaking lawn chair and made it to the same exact spot, just because of how good they are. And just goes to show you how good these three guys are, or all four of them really, including Fabada, because I filled in for Fabada and then the whole next week, Dennis couldn't make it. I can't believe. I believe, right? Was it the next week?
Yes. Was it Dennis?
No, it was Dennis, but
yeah.
it was. I think it was the following week, and Rocco Guieri filled in for Dennis, and Fabada was back, and those guys ended up back in the championship, and ended up winning it.
Yeah. So that brings us to the next one. Double trucking high stakes. Rocco Guieri, Dom Aveni, Mikey Fabada, and Anthony Croach. They won that tournament. So congrats to them. We had a women's doubles at NEO.
Yeah, that was spicy and a lot of competition. I was really happy to see, just because I mentioned it before. I was once uttered through the bocce world that our area didn't have. We don't have a women's presence in bocce. It was just like, a lot of men. But now the little more light shed on it, it just goes to show you how strong,
Absolutely.
our area, and take our area away from it. Just really, women's bocce in general. You had some folks come in, I think, from Canada as well as Chicago. So it's great to really see the women's presence all around in the nation, really.
Yeah, definitely a growing game. Think about Mom, for instance. She's playing. She's exciting that she's playing in 2 leagues.
Yeah.
This winter.
Just played their first co-ed tournament. Although it be for charity, it's a Youngstown charity tournament, which means all the good teams are in it, which means they all want to win. And I think they came in like 4th.
Yeah, they had a good showing, 5th or 4th. Carmen, you were there, weren't you?
Yeah, I was there. It was.
Touch up on that tournament, the name, what was for, and all that, if you remember.
Yeah, so it's a Golden String Radio tournament. It's a fundraiser for Purple Cat, which is an organization that helps the mentally disabled. It's a really good tournament, and it's a really good cause. And the guys who are in charge of Purple Cat play bocce regularly at the MBR. So all their people were there. My family had a team, and it was a charity tournament, but the competition was really good. You had the Capgrecos were playing, the Iamuris, Catulo knocked us out. And then, so it was a good time. But real quick, I want to go back to the NEO women's doubles tournament.
Yeah.
That was my mom's tournament debut.
Really?
She played with my sister, and it was hilarious because it reminded me of like when I was a little kid going to school, I was nervous. Well, when I was sending her off to the tournament, she was so nervous. I'm like, Mom, just relax, have some fun.
Awesome.
The roles switched, and she did really well. They didn't make it too far, but she played well, I heard.
Oh, that's great.
I'm just picturing the scene of you dropping her off. Like, all right, call me when you're done. I'll pick you up. Love you.
Love you.
Love you.
Have some Funyuns.
Have fun. Make friends.
Make friends. So I don't want to miss this. The winner of the women's doubles was Deanna Morgano and Sharon Perry. So
yeah, and shout out to Sharon for also betting on herself in the betting pool on that takes place, and adding a little more change. I think like $700, $800.
That's awesome.
Onto her, just for her too, which is that's awesome.
You could play in a tournament, bet on yourself, and win more on the bet than you did winning the tournament.
Right, in some cases.
Yeah.
You mentioned the Iamuris, Carmen. That's a good segue to the next tournament that was just taking place. That kind of just.
I have one more championship to talk about.
Yeah, that's what I'm bringing up right now. But Iamuris, Cosmo Iamari, through the Shark Attack doubles tournament at St. Anthony's, and I like this tournament because one, although I couldn't make it, love a good doubles tournament, love St. Anthony's. Also, I looked at the rosters all the way down, and everyone kind of played with someone else. But they usually don't. I shouldn't say not everyone, but it was just you saw different pairings than you typically wouldn't see, who ended up winning that?
It was Ron Dog and Matthew Taylor. So congrats to those fellas.
Some PA guys.
Cosmo, shout out to you. I know this is a tournament that you want to continue to grow. Next year, we're really looking forward to it, that's for sure.
Without a doubt.
Tell St. Anthony's to get Wi-Fi that's at medium strength at least. Pagenciano Club, you need to do the same thing. That way we could stream some games.
Yeah. You need Wi-Fi in general.
It's 2023. You should have had Wi-Fi fucking 15 years ago. But I get it. It's expensive. Whatever. New news. We had a meeting with Forever Lawn, our sponsor. Dante and Cugini met with them. They were able to bring some turf up.
We did some testing. We're going to the lab for you guys. So, now more than ever, we get messages to the Bocce Bros asking about what's the best surface, or we don't want clay. We don't want to keep up the court. We don't want to get dirty. Well, now we're working on a solution hand in hand with Forever Lawn. So obviously they're an artificial turf company. Actually, they're official artificial turf company, sponsor of the Cleveland Browns. So they're the real deal, and we're working with them to create the best turf for bocce, and not just the best turf. We're trying to mimic a synthetic surface. We did a bunch of samples, and they go as far as to create the actual turf in their with their manufacturer at the factory. So we're taking to the lab, adding sand to it, doing certain things to mimic a synthetic court. So if you could have that at your house, you could have that at your club, and you almost couldn't tell the difference of a turf in a synthetic court for half the cost.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the main thing is when we move eventually at some point down the road, I would love to have a court in my backyard, but the last thing I want to do is take care of it. So if there's that option, I'm 100% going for it.
The one issue is the bounciness of turfs. People always say that, it's hard to toss hard, it bounces, it skips. So that's, one of the hurdles in creating that specific bocce turf. So stay tuned for more for that.
Absolutely.
It's exciting news. And I know we're all excited to have another option to play some more bocce.
Absolutely. Some other news, guys. We released a 2024 schedule, so if you go to theboccebros.com, you can go ahead and look at that. If there's any tournaments out there that you are running or that that are going to happen and you want to add them to the schedule, just shoot us a DM or an email, theboccebros@gmail.com. We are talking about our Bocce Bros tournament. That's been a hot topic as of late, and honestly, it's meant a lot to us that people are asking us about it, because when we first threw it, we understood it was a longer tournament. Dante, what was it? What do you call it? Similar tournament to what Dallas is doing. Round robin.
We did round robin.
Yeah, mm-hmm. Yeah, round robin. So we made some tweaks to
mm-hmm.
it. There we go. And instead of it being in December, which is right after the holidays, Big Ten weekend, way too much going on, we're looking at it having it this upcoming spring. There's a few places that we're eyeing, so hopefully we'll figure that out shortly, but we'll let you guys know, make sure we get you guys on there. New apparel is dropping, some Bocce Bro apparel. We did release a new logo recently. Dante, good job releasing that. It is the gold logo. A lot of people are asking about it, and the one thing we want to do is continue to get the Bocce Bros name out there. It literally has nothing to do with us and everything to do with highlighting the sport, making sure people go to our page, making sure people go to the YouTube channel. That way they could watch bocce and just continue to grow this brand. So if you guys want to purchase that, stay tuned. That should be dropping probably by Monday of next week. I already put it all on Shopify, so stay tuned for that.
Love it.
Lorenzinos.
Lorenzinos. I was just on the phone with Dante Chiavetti today. I talked to him more than I talked to you guys, I feel like. But he sent me a video of the place, and it looks unbelievable. He just welded the fences in. He did more than just weld the fences. He literally built those things, and he's putting the inserts in soon. Actually, I'm probably safe to go ahead and show that video.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and pull that up.
Yeah, go ahead and pull that up. But we're really excited. We got the Bocce Bros Cigar Lounge. Smoke a couple stogies in there. Bunch of tournaments coming up. That's going to be another great venue. There's so much bocce in Youngstown, but there's definitely enough.
Is there any tournaments that you saw that you are eyeing next year on our 2024 schedule?
I would love to do Lorenzinos, but the Mount Carmel one's the weekend after. And doing back-to-back travel tournaments is tough, so I have to try and figure that out. That's the one in January. Those are two came to mind.
Yeah. One that I'm eyeing down is, because I wasn't able to do Palazzo this past September at the ABC Open, is the ABC American Bocce Company is throwing another tournament at Palazzo in May, a doubles, high stakes. So I'm definitely going to try to make it out to that one. But speaking of beautiful synthetic courts like Palazzo, you on me here? All right. Wait, there we go.
All right. Wow, look at that. Do that again.
Let's do this again. Dad, don't text me. We're live right now.
Wow, that looks great.
Nice.
So you can see 3 courts there, and then behind where the cameraman or whoever took that video is standing, there's a whole banquet area with probably one of the biggest bars that I've seen, dartboards, cigar room, all of that. So you guys can be a member there. If you just go to Lorenzino's Facebook page, all the information will be there. I think there's also something on our website that I saw today. There's a Lorenzino's link on the side. Either way, shout out to Dante Chiavetti for getting that together.
Yeah, if you want to join, you can go to the Lorenzino's Facebook page or go to thebocceBros.com. You can see all the applications. Just click the 3 lines at the top, Lorenzino's on the bottom. Bada bing, bada boom, sign up. It's pretty cheap just to be a member, have full-time access, have your own locker there, keep your bocce balls, keep your cigars. And then soon enough, they'll have their kitchen open. I know the leagues, like he just mentioned, just started. Jen Hardy is putting together a women's tournament in early December at Pajanchano Club, the first ever women's tournament at the Pajanchano Club.
Hey.
Pajanchano Club is home to Chris and I. We grew up there. Our grandparents are from Pajenthro. So is Carmen's family. We're actually all related somewhere down the line. Our cousins, how you doing?
I'm fourth cousins with Carmen's grandma on 23andMe, or third cousins. So.
The unreleased podcast that was 4 hours long when you guys got hammed up.
Yeah. We've since updated the software, so that won't happen ever again.
Yeah, it was the software's fault. You guys were all.
All right, so Big E's going to hop on here shortly. We obviously have the Lone Star Bocce Open happening this weekend. What do you guys know about upcoming tournaments? Anything else?
Other than this Lone Star Open, you know, I can barely think a day ahead at this point right now. But let's take a look, Chris.
Yeah, I got it.
So there were, so there were 2 MVR tournaments added. December 2nd, Jingle Balls Classic. That's a 4-person, 2 per side tournament. And then there's another one at MVR. I believe it's in February.
Okay.
February 24th. It's a 4-person walk.
All right, nice.
A little new tournament for everyone now that they have the indoor capabilities. So that's exciting to see. A lot more options for tournaments for the MVR.
Guys, I think I just heard someone hop on.
It's like Santa Claus.
Let's
even better.
What's up?
Screen. Big E looking good. Love the hat.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can. Can you hear us?
Oh, for sure.
Wonderful.
Where are you at right now?
Home, getting ready for this tournament. Yeah, tomorrow is setup day, and Thursday is put everything together day, and then y'all come in.
I love it. I got to say, I texted you and told you this, but I have to say it for the people viewing and listening right now, is your live draw show, which was last Wednesday, which picked the groups for your tournament, was very well done. Shout out to your assistants, whoever was helping behind the scenes. But it was fun to watch and fun to see the drawings and the pairings and what have you.
Yeah, that was my daughter pulling the hats out of the cowboy hats out of the hat. And my wife was putting down the teams. So yeah, that was fun. I always like to do the draw. It's always kind of cool to have different geographic regions throughout the country. And we're blessed that we have 28 teams kind of pretty much evenly split across the country. It's really awesome. You know, a story I'll share with you guys. You know, I always hear that this tournament has been built by what I have observed going around the country, and it was your scheduler on your Facebook page long time ago that made me go to these different tournaments. So I thank you guys, obviously, for doing all that and making it even bigger. Awesome. But yeah, it's great to meet people from all over the country. That's a blessing right there. You know, when I was doing those little Big E reports, I was kind of looking. I was like, man, I know all these people pretty much just by meeting everyone. So that's a cool treat.
That is pretty amazing. I think I told you this. I was thinking about this. I was reflecting earlier, Biggie, and as I tend to do, and I was thinking of a previous podcast. I think I mentioned something along the lines of, when we first started doing all this, we've been so fortunate to meet great people. They've been traveling out to us. We go to a tournament here and there, especially starting off, and then you get people who are like, "Oh, you need to come out to our tournament. You need to come out to our tournament." And and typically two or one of us try to, if you couldn't tell, but it's just tough to make all of them. So I remember you were like, hey, I'm going to throw a tournament, you know, in Dallas, you got to get to it. I'm like, oh my God, at the end of the year, Dallas. And then as I'm looking at, you know, you release everything and I'm like, oh, I can't freaking wait for Dallas. And I just thought about that today, and I hate my past self for thinking that, because this is my favorite tournament to like look forward to. So,
Well, thank you. Thanks for coming back. Obviously,
oh my God.
no, you know, it's an interesting deal here in Dallas. You know, we don't have real courts, if you want to say. You know, we play in bar courts, and you've seen that on our Facebook page. But this was a unique opportunity with Lone Star Park to have our group come in and build 4 courts on the carpet. You know, people say, "Oh, carpet," but you know, the courts are pretty true.
Some of the best carpet courts, I mean, I've played on. I played Vegas, and those things will tear you up mentally, physically. You'll get chapped lips just from being out in the desert.
Well, Vegas, you have a few drinks, they'll roll straight. So you're
Yeah,
good.
right. Yeah, everything rolls straight after a few drinks, and
Yeah.
especially at this tournament when it's all you can drink, huh, Biggie?
It is, yeah. And this year we've put everything on free after in the evening time. You know, every premium drink, whatever they have, it's all included. And you know, I kind of viewed this last year as a end of the year party for all bocce players across the country. You know, it is at the end of November. Obviously, they didn't want to do it in December just with the holidays. And I think it's just a good relief from everybody's own local leagues, local tournaments, is to have a good time. You know, I've said it before. You know, music's on full blast. It's party atmosphere, and you got the horse races too.
And it's always fun to win a couple bucks. I know Cugini bet for one race like $5 at the long shot, and like 80 to 1 or something, and something dumb.
Yeah.
You know what it was.
$165. He won $165.
Yeah. Yep.
Gosh.
Ridiculous.
Biggie, how did this come
no.
about? So how did you build this relationship with, you know, is it the Grand Prairie? Is that?
Yeah, so Lone Star Park's in Grand Prairie, which is roughly 15 minutes west of the track, or west of the city, I mean, downtown Dallas. The track there, I've been in relation with Lone Star Racing Club. Ronnie Cravens is the trainer, and just have horses running there. And we, you know, of knowing the people, I said, hey, let's see if we can host something here. Let's see what space you have that we could possibly host a tournament. Because what I was thinking is, if Dallas was going to host a tournament in a convention center, who would come? There's got to be a sideshow. There has to be a sideshow for us to have if you don't have regular courts. So I thought, hey, this would be a unique opportunity to have horse racing and all the other stuff that goes on, as you guys saw last year, and even more this year. So yeah, that's how it turned out. We got great people there at Lone Star Park that welcomed us with open arms, and they told us last week when we had our meeting that when they heard Lone Star Bocce Club, or sorry, the Lone Star Bocce Open coming back, everyone gave a standing ovation, like a round of applause, because they felt like our players that were there, were the kindest that they've ever had of all the groups that they have throughout the year. And they appreciated it.
I assume Unit wasn't there last year.
Yeah.
Say that again?
I assume the Unit wasn't there last year.
No Unit. He actually did call. Shout out to him. He did call. He's just kind of prying some information. I think he's doing his own little underground thing, but no, he did call. He wanted some information, but it was already sold out. 3 days in March. Boom, boom, boom. It was sold out. So, and it's crazy because I know it's not a cheap tournament, but you get a lot of stuff with it, and it's just like I said, a cool party atmosphere. And I'm blessed to have everybody that came in last year and everyone that's coming this year to come back, and all the word of mouth, and all the stuff that we do online to promote it. I know sometimes it's overboard, but I think it's something that's special for the players that are attending. That, hey, you know what? You guys are welcome. You guys are gonna have the best player experience, in my opinion, in a tournament, and that's how it went.
Absolutely. I mean, I love everything that you're doing to promote this tournament, right? I mean, I noticed it I think it was the last podcast I mentioned it. I saw our post, the Bocce Bros. You did the introduction for each team, right? And it just adds a little bit more of like a personal touch to it, right? And it got me excited. We do this media stuff all the time, so seeing that, just got me even more excited. And then also just seeing the other teams that are coming, because there's so many times where I'm in a tournament, and especially if it's an out of town tournament, it's like, oh, who are they, or you never really want to say hi, or because you don't really know them. But now that I have these pictures and kind of stories to go along with it, when I see everybody there, I could be like, oh, hey, I saw the post about you, and just chop it up with them. So
Oh,
that was
exactly.
a really nice added touch.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, I think, like I said, this is something that I kind of, my head's kind of big, right? So I always have ideas rolling in my head. I thought this was a good idea to do. It's only 28 days worth, so it wasn't that bad. I know other tournaments have 60, 70 teams, but, we're kind of limited with time and space. But I thought it was a fun thing. Like I said, I'm comfortable writing about all 28 teams because I know most of the players that are on these teams. I didn't give away any strategies or any things that you can do better than the other person can do it. Now I kept it kind of general, but yes, you're right. I'm the same way. When I go to term, like, who's this person, who's that person? Wow, there's 10 Dantes playing. Who's this Dante? You know what I mean? So, so, so yeah, I thought it was kind of cool, and I'll keep doing it. It was fun for me to write those up.
Big E, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, buddy, what's up, man?
What's going on, my man?
Dude, last time you were in Dallas, you were holding 3 telephones trying to live stream in 3 different platforms.
Yeah, after a whole day of open bar, that was a good time.
Yeah, man, that was good stuff. What's up?
Hey, so for those who don't know about the tournament, can you just tell them about the amenities and kind of the schedule of the tournament and what you're adding this year? Because I know you have a bunch of extra ideas up in your head.
Oh my gosh, yeah, we're pretty packed here. So yeah, Thursday we're gonna start. So just to knock it off, Thursday, after practice and all that, Kathy from LBA Psycho Bunny, she is going to be singing the national anthem on the track. So that's a
Awesome.
cool treat.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a cool treat. Yeah. So we got
That's
that,
great.
and then like you said with the pool play and how our tournament works, there's 28 teams. We split them up to 4 pools of 7 in the geographic region. So I was trying to make sure that one Chicago team wasn't playing against all the other 5 Chicago teams. So there's a little bit of this and that. How it's going to work is each team's going to play 6 pool games. So after 6 pool games, the top 4 in each division will go into the championship double elimination bracket, and the bottom 3 go into a consolation bracket, kind of like their own little bracket. And the reason why I did this last year is because I myself, I'm not a strong bocce player. What's up, Cooch? All right. So I'm not a pretty strong bocce player, but going to Vegas the first time I went, I'm like, oh, this is cool. They have like a second chance bracket. That's kind of neat. Maybe I can do well there if I don't qualify for the first one. So I was like, hey, let's do a consolation for the bottom 3 teams. So we got a 16 team championship and 12 team consolation double elimination bracket after the 16 is done. So it's an 8-game minimum. A lot of games over 2.5 days.
Oh, yeah.
But it's gonna be it's gonna go, and we got it timed out with our schedule. I think we'll be okay.
Yeah. And this is back all dead, right?
Back wall dead, just like, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, the only thing that's different is something that they do in Vegas is with no volo. So your ball's got to hit before the midline before it hits another ball. Yeah, just due to safety. It's pretty tight quarters. We just don't want to injure anybody. But other than that, there's a shooting line, there's a pointing line, everything's the same.
There's other ways around it. You can get creative and do the bounce shot,
Yeah, for sure. But I think Carmen also said there's other things that we're doing too. So every night, Thursday night, Friday night, we got these contests, win money, win prizes. We got some generous sponsors from Oakley, from one of our local players, John Magonia, that we're doing special contests, and it's that's going to be a fun time, because I think if people want to let loose at the end of the day, they're all wound up with bocce. They just want to let loose, drink some drinks, and have some fun with these contests. So the first one here, I got it right here next to me. I don't have the second one next to me, but it's the Wheel of Bocce, where every wedge has a certain challenge, and one player's got to do the challenge. So it'll be a fun time. It'll be a party time.
What are some examples on the wheel?
Yeah, we got hit the Polina in the midline, roll within 3 foot of the back wall, but you can't use the side wall. roll between two balls at the far line that are 2 feet apart. Something basic stuff. We're not gonna, but it's after drinking and all that, this will be kind of interesting to see. And you got 120 people looking at you, and that's a lot of pressure sometimes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then we got that, and then the big thing that I like this year, and we had it last year, but this year we just have to make it bigger and better. The tournament MVP gets this big ring.
Oh, hell
right
yeah.
there. Yeah, so yeah, it's like a big Super Bowl ring, kind of. Yeah.
So how's the tournament MVP decided? What are you looking for?
Well, I have my trusty crew of Alessio and I. We kind of look. Last year was Mark Beal. He played for Proximo. He's actually playing for the Texas team this year. But last year it was between Capogreco and Mark. Whoever won that game was going to be the MVP. So Capogreco played lights out like he always does. But Mark and his crew. That was a great game. That was like 12-10, I think, was the final. But it was great, yeah. And then we got the trophy here. This is the trophy that we have for the winners that stays here. But this right here is the belt that the winner takes home and keeps.
All the prizes. I love this.
I love it.
Yeah, right there.
Look at that.
And then even the consolation winner, I think I showed this during the live draw. They get this. It's like a clear acrylic cowboy hat. Yeah. So.
Hey, E.
Yeah, man.
Do you have the horse back there too somewhere?
The one. Can you hear me? Yeah. The one that that you guys are gonna name.
Yeah. I'm just picturing that's just like in the room over.
The horse will not be on the track.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a she, I believe. Yeah, it's a she. She's training right now, but she's going to be racing in Oklahoma next fall. Okay. So she's a 1-year-old right now.
What did they name the horse last year?
Proximo.
Okay.
That was the name
Yeah,
of the team that won.
Yeah, and that horse has been training. It's been training. He's probably got like 15 workouts, but they haven't entered him in a race. I'm not sure what's going on. I think they're going to let him run in Houston, I believe, the way that it looks like on the grass. So maybe a couple more months, but it's been training really well.
That's good to hear. Now, are they coming back, Proximo?
They are.
Good.
But they lost their MVP.
Who's their MVP?
It was Mark Beal.
Oh yeah. Oh, he's not coming?
No, he's coming. He's playing for Texas, but Proximo got Ricky Dine.
Oh, that's great. That's a great pickup. That's a beautiful pickup.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I thought Mark was coming. He just texted me, and I forget where he was just at, but I know he's bringing some cigars. So
yeah. Well, there's a beautiful deck out there that you can smoke them. So the only stinker this year, just like last year, we are getting a cold front on Thursday. So the temperatures right now are 85. It's gonna dip down to 60.
Whatever, man. This tournament stinks.
Yeah.
I was all excited. I was packing my shorts last week, and then I looked at the weather app, and I'm like, damn it. So I take it all out and put my long sleeves and everything else in.
The espresso guy called me. The espresso guy's coming. Masseuses are coming. New Orleans beignets are going to be there. And I think, the dipped ice cream bars, they're going to be there too. So there's a lot. You're not going to get hungry.
Yeah.
You gonna have that espresso bar again?
Yeah, Friday morning.
Yeah, that was my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
I think I saw a picture of Cooge getting a massage last year. Was that true?
There's a photoshopped one out there too. It's a good one. I'll have to find that one.
I went multiple times.
To that
we
one.
We got three this year.
Street?
Oh dear.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
So, Biggie, obviously there's a lot going on with this tournament. Everybody that talks about it, they say how amazing it is. Every thought that goes into it, obviously, is something that people notice. Is it just you doing all of this, or is there anybody else that's helping you kind of go through like that process of responsibilities and all that?
Yeah, my wife, here she's filling out envelopes right now, right behind the camera. She's doing all the wristbands for the guests. Yes, you'll see her. So yeah, she's the one. Like I said, a lot of my idea bouncing goes off of a couple of people. Alessio, I always ask him a bunch of questions. Travis from California, Danny Catullo. I just ask a few questions here and there just to kind of gauge what the player would like. I don't want to set rules, and then it's like, oh man, this doesn't work out. I just want to bounce it off players. Like this year, we're gonna have a practice frame down and back every game. I think there's no other sport out there that doesn't have that. If you're gonna even play darts, you're gonna have a couple practice rounds of darts before you start your game. So I'm gonna do that, but I'm gonna limit the early morning practice. It's all gonna even out. But yeah, I bounce the ideas off, and then I got a couple of my friends and a cousin of mine that they're going to build a course tomorrow. They're not going to play this year. They had that surprise Napa Valley trip, but they're going to be there to say hello. So they build a course. They do a wonderful job of those courts. And that's the beautiful thing about this tournament. Nobody has played on these courts. They're not courts. It's a banquet hall.
Yeah.
So like there's no advantage, like local advantage. Like, if I were to go up to Youngstown or come to Molisani, there is court knowledge. There's no court knowledge here. When you come here for the first 3 hours, everybody's the same.
Yeah.
So that makes it kind of cool as well.
Absolutely. No one can blame the court, right? Everybody's playing on the same one now. That
Yeah.
they're able to practice on. So that's great.
Exactly. Yeah. But did y'all look through your division, see what your challenge is?
Yeah. So let me go ahead and pull ours up. Are we in C, I believe? Yeah. So I took the screenshots that you have on social media, and I'm sharing them on the screen now. But and then I also have the rosters as well. But yeah, I was able to look at it. Do you guys know, how do you feel about it?
I mean, we got Johnny from Youngstown playing on Salsicha Train, so we're going to play him first game, which will be interesting. And then Coast to Coast is a good team that we've played. Chicken Foot, gotta love those guys.
I like how Anthony he's saying.
Oh, you got Giuliano on Chicken Foot.
He's like, we got Chicken Foot, we got Toodaloos, they're good.
Yeah. No, I thought the teams that stick out, they're all great. Even that Staten Island team and the Desperados, they surprised everybody. I never met them before, and they came down and they were one of the first ones to sign back up. So they loved coming down here, and they were really good. They almost beat Catulo's boys there in the playoffs. They were up like 10 to. No, it was like 9-4 or something, and they had them, and they lost, and they could have knocked out Catulo and their crew. But no, I think the Salsicha Train, the St. Louis team, they're tough. They got Gianni and Brad with Vince and Dan Drago. They were up there at Molisani, I believe. Dan was up in Molisani 3 weeks ago, and they did well. The Toodaloos, that's Courtney's crew. They always represent. He's great. He's a great knocker. Chicken Foot, that's Giuliano and the Chicken Foot guys. That'll be a fun team to watch. Ski Coast is a California team, but they've got Mike Mathis. So these guys, like I said in the Big E report, they don't talk too much. They just they like mind read or something. I don't know, but they're really good players. It's a tough division. And you got coast to coast. These guys are veterans. So anything can happen. You play your game. This is the beautiful thing about this tournament. It's not a double elimination tournament. You can probably still lose 3 or maybe even 4 games and still make it to the double elimination bracket in the championship. Wow. So anything can happen.
I love that. It's exciting. Yeah, a lot of good teams. Like you mentioned, Coast to Coast at the end there. I believe that has Jack on it, as well as Guy.
Frank.
Why can't I? DeSantis.
Frank DeSantis. Guy DeSantis.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's every team here is like, wow. I'm so blessed to have all this talent coming to Dallas. The Ohio, all the Ohio teams are great. The California teams and the Oregon teams, the Oregon teams never get too much love because they don't come over to the East or the Midwest. But they're tough, man. I know how they play. They're tough. With Brad Cotton and Ben and Antonio, they're tough, and you'll get to see them when you come here. They're really good teams. And then I'm just looking at all these. I'm looking at all these teams. I don't know what else to tell you. Everyone is good.
What state do you think takes home this year? Last year it was between California and Ohio predominantly. Who's it?
Yeah, you want my predictions? Okay, so this is hard. I'll go from Group A. I'll go Group A.
Yeah.
You got to look at Catulo with the Capogrecos and Bubba. The only problem that I have with that team is who's going to be the pointer on the other end, because you got 3 shooters and and a pointer. You know, Danny said he's going to point, and Ron's going to point. I don't know. So they're going to be tough, but they're in the same division with the Glutes. Anthony, you know, they just came in second in St. Louis. You know, they won Detroit. They're a well-oiled machine. So this group here is pretty tough. Then you got Kentucky as well. In the second division, you got Alex Guerra, Zimmerman. You got Chris Cardello. You got Rocco Catulo with his son, Rocco Delicio and his son Dante. Prosimo, the Oregon team. It's hard, you know. There's 6 Chicago teams this year that are coming, I believe. No,
Wow.
yeah,
That's not
6 Chicago
surprising.
teams. Yeah, and I'm thankful. You know, Alex, he does great work with it. You know, like Alex has said on his streams, you know, they praise Dallas, but you know, it's me praising them for what I've learned, praising Ohio when I come to Ohio and play. When I go to California, but I praise all these other clubs because that's how I kind of formed this tournament. So it's a collective effort from all the clubs, but this one's tough, man. I don't know. That's gonna be good.
All right, go through C. We already went through C. We already spoke.
Yeah.
With the Secretariat
I think,
division.
are you where? Yeah, D. Yeah, let's go here. D. I think the one here that's probably going to run away with it, in my opinion, is Bocce. That's Donko. Maurizio is going to be on that team this year. Vito is going to be on that team. So that's going to be a hard team. But you know, Mount Carmel, that's Romeo and Alessio. If they get with Judge and Alessio's dad.
Oh, Lesio's
You
dad's
know,
coming.
if they do something like they did there in the MVR. Yeah, Alessio's dad's playing.
Aldino.
You know, Guido's, that's our local team. Yeah, Bada Blings are the all-woman team there from Missouri. Detroit from Mission and Botcheville, Castle Rock, Danny. I think in this division here, in my opinion, it's got to be Bocce, Mount Carmel, and then the Sparare team. That's the Oregon team. That's going to be top 3 somehow. But I'll tell you right now, a sleeper in this pool is going to be that all-women team, the Bada Blings. They will point everybody off. They get those balls so close. I'm not sure who hits, but these ladies are going to put the ball into Polino within a foot every time. So you can't sleep on the lady team. They're good.
I love it. I'm so excited. I can't wait. I told you,
Yeah.
maybe, you know, I'm just trying to get through the work week here. And as soon as, you know, Wednesday's over, my bags are packed.
Let's go.
I think me, Anthony, and Chris are all on the same flight.
Yeah, we're gonna party on the way down. Anthony can't wait.
They're gonna have to emergency land that plane.
Well, it's going to be wet, so bring an umbrella or something. I don't know.
We'll have fun no matter what. We're actually we're bringing out our debut jerseys for this tournament.
Yeah, we.
You know, I heard that.
Yeah, through the grapevine. So, with those Our Sport Bocce, who's actually the official designer and clothing of the CBI out in Italy, so the professionals, Marco Rizzo and Our Sport Bocce. They've partnered with us, as you guys should be aware by now. We talked about them a lot. You know, we've had balls come through from them. We've had some, rags, which I believe are going to be one of the gifts. Correct me if I'm wrong. Right?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
But also, we are now diving into the professional jersey world. So, we got ourselves some, and we're actually going to bring some catalogs with us to Dallas, because I think once you see them in person, you'll be like, ooh.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. And I thank you for all your help, man. You know, since day one, you guys haven't said no to me. You know, from bags to the towels that every player will be getting. You guys have been great.
Man,
you know?
Vice versa.
Yeah, man. No, but your promotion of our tournament and all the other tournaments is very grateful. So I thank you.
Absolutely. Man.
Likewise, we love you, man. We love you. We mean it.
Yes, sir.
All right. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for it. Obviously, everybody is. It's going to be a great tournament. I know you said not to focus on streaming because you want us to enjoy the tournament, but I am gonna bring a few things just to make sure that we can make some fun videos and stuff after.
Awesome.
Yeah, we're bringing something we could tell them. It's going to be a confessional room. So if you ever watch Real World, if you ever watch any reality TV show, you have a camera set in a separate room where it's quiet. you just hit record and you just talk about what's on your mind, what just happened that last game.
Anthony's gonna be like, I rolled every point. They stink.
I won 10 for 11.
Dude, I want to say something. I don't know if there's microphone issues with Anthony, but I want to say something to Anthony. I was watching that Mola Fine tournament with my wife Lauren, and every shot, this guy must have taken 100 paces between shots on the other court, just like frantic. He's nervous, and it was just amazing to watch. It was like a sideshow. But I'll tell you, Anthony, your pointing was amazing. You found that spot. You were like within a foot every time. Put the pressure on the other team. So congratulations on both of y'all. Y'all, even you, Dante. But that was some great bocce, and congratulations. But man, you take 100 steps in between every shot. Just I need to get a step meter on you.
Yeah, Biggie texted me. He's like, "Do you have a pedometer on you?" I'm like, "What?" He's like, "You probably walked 30,000 steps." I was dying laughing.
Oh, it was nuts. But yeah, no, we have the whole second floor. So if you want to do a confessional room, the whole second floor of the track is empty. So we got the whole thing. So there'll be private spots there. Yeah, not an issue at all.
No, it's happening.
Yeah. So, but no, it's going to be a great time. I can't wait to host y'all. Like I said, tomorrow we start the building of the courts around 10 o'clock. It should be done around 5 o'clock. And then Thursday, that's when we're going to set everything up in the room, and go from there and host everybody at 2 o'clock.
Love it.
So Biggie, I have a question.
Yeah.
Before you go, what's your favorite memory from last year's tournament that you just kind of always remember?
Oh, good one. Yeah. Well, there are a few memories. Obviously, when the first few teams walked in, I'm like, oh, this is happening. I think with any tournament director, small tournament director, big tournament, when those players come through that door, they're like, okay, there's some validation to what we're doing here. So that was the first memory. The other memories, like just individual play, I felt like Anthony Capogreco was hitting everything. He was a lights out. He was showing, who he was. Obviously, the showdown between you and their team, that was kind of hard to watch because I know I'm friends with both teams, but that was hard to watch.
You're like the parents in the stands, like.
Oh man, it was terrible, man. Because I know it's like, oh my gosh, because their team, they were the number one seed overall, I think, or you guys were the number one seed. Anyway, they lost against our Texas team. They lost against John and Aaron and Alessio was on the team, and they lost them. And then that's what happened. Y'all met up, and that was nuts. And then the final was great. There are two games in the final, and they were all close games, high quality bocce. So, but like I said, I think the best memories when players come in. I understand when traveling to other cities, there's costs, there's flight costs, there's hotel costs, rental cars. And our goal here is to try to make this the best player experience or one of the best player experiences on the circuit because, we value what you guys have put into coming down here. We want to make sure you have a good time, regardless if you're in the championship division, consolation, whatever. We want you to be happy when you all leave. So,
I have one more question.
Mm-hmm.
Your top 4 holidays in order.
What the fuck?
This is the last question of the night. I saw this on Instagram. People were arguing over it, and it's on my itinerary. I have to go by the itinerary.
Okay.
All right.
Top 4 holidays in order.
Top 4. I got to go Christmas. Christmas is always a good one
Ooh.
because, Christmas is always good just because you get a few extra days off too. But it's fun just to kind of chill out and just kind of reflect on the year. Easter is a big one I'm Greek, so Easter is a really big one for us. So I got to put Easter. Lots of lamb. That's right. I try to do a lamb on the spit every year. I got one of those rotisseries. That's fun. Halloween is a fun one. This year was kind of weird because we weren't into it too much. I'm not sure. My mind was into this, but Halloween's always a fun one because we all dress up. The fourth one, I don't know.
Wait, what were you for Halloween?
Oh,
this year nothing, but last year I was Bob Ross. The time before that, I was a Price is Right character, and my name was Jack, and my wife had another Price is Right. I think her name was Pot, so Jack Pot. Winning. Oh, sorry, I thought you were Pot. I'm sorry. No, I was jackpot. That's right. I was jackpot. She was winning. That's right. Winning. That's right. My bad.
Get it right.
I've done the big Texas are oh, speaking of which, go Rangers. That was awesome.
Yep.
So we're very excited here. We roll the Cowboys over here. We're going Rangers. And thanks to Bruce Bocce, what a video.
Yeah, that was great.
So cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that was I was in Salem, Massachusetts. By the way, Chris, you were talking about Key West earlier tonight. It was funny because Saturday night we, on YouTube they had the recommended things, and it was like a video of live stream of Duval Street, I think, down in Key West.
Gosh. Yeah.
And we saw all that stuff. Oh my God! So whatever Chris said, it's 10 times worse. Oh,
I did put it politely.
Yeah, you did. So
that's so funny.
So the Friday night, everybody's on the street dressed up.
Oh, yeah.
Saturday, they have the big parade.
Yeah, we saw the barricades.
Yeah. It's nuts, man.
Oh, it's a yeah. You're right. Bourbon times 10. It's a crazy time down there. It looked like it. So
yeah.
So I lost my train of thought. Last question for you guys. Where did y'all stay in that? Did y'all find a 100-year-old house?
Cooge got us an Airbnb. Hopefully, usually Cooge's selections were in the ghetto somewhere, and there's barely any running water. So we have faith in him this trip around, though.
Rocco D'Alessio texted me. He's like, "Oh, they canceled our VRBO reservation." I got another one, and then 2 days later they canceled it again.
Oh my
and he was
God.
telling me about these areas. Yeah, so now they got one, but I don't know about that area too well. So hopefully it's on the right side of the tracks because
yeah.
I guess Joe and Sean knew were going to show some muscle in that area. I don't know what they're going to do. So
yeah, Danny Catulo sent me some big mansion that he got with the squad. So we'll see how that goes.
I love it.
Yeah,
House party at Danny's.
Yeah. Yep. I'll see you there.
I heard he's got like a huge house.
Yeah. But yeah, Biggie, as always, we appreciate you tuning in. You're one of our favorite guests, whether you're just calling in or you're a highlighted guest on the show. Obviously, we can't talk enough about the tournament. It's going to be my first one. I know last year was the first tournament. I missed it, but looking forward to it. Heard nothing but great things. Obviously, all the work you, your family, Alessio, whoever else is involved. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears are going into it.
Love it.
We're really excited. We're going to continue to promote it. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you in a few days. Actually, let's put this up.
What's up?
2 days. Giuliano Romeo.
Oh my God! Yeah, I think Dante has a Christmas card as well from Giuliano, but I don't think we can show that to us right now.
We'll show it in the post credits.
The Patreon episode.
Yeah. And by the way, feel free to live stream. The thing is, I go to tournaments sometimes. There's no music. Drives me nuts. And you guys did Highwood. And I know that drove you all nuts. And forget it, man. I want music.
Absolutely. No, for sure. I get what you're saying completely about that. That makes complete sense. That we like streaming, but I like enjoying the tournament a hell of a lot more. So
and plenty of Pitbull for Cugini.
Pitbull for Cugini, yes, 100%. He actually don't. We need him focused. We can't have him. We can't have him fist pumping.
There you go. Cool, guys.
All right, thank you, Biggie.
I appreciate it. Keep up the great work. Okay, guys?
Absolutely.
See you in a couple days.
All right.
Take care.
Got it, man. Bye-bye.
All right, that was Big E, fellas. As always, I mean, he's just so electric. His personality, when I see guys like that, I think, okay, when I'm in certain scenarios, I got to be energetic. I got to be up, be ready to go, be polite to people. Like, that guy is one that you want to... His personality is just so magnetic.
Infectious.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
he's in the bocce world. Cooge, what's up?
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Eeyore.
Yeah. So, or I'm going to take you off the screen. Carmenus!
Car's smiling. Total opposite. Aurora's.
Big E, man. He's big. He's larger than life. Like you said, he makes you want to be a better version of yourself. And he brings the heat, brings the fun, and I mean, you've already met him in person, right, Chris? He's like, what, 6'9"? He's huge. Everything's bigger in Texas.
Yeah,
He's the man.
Giant.
absolutely. That's why the tournament's so great. But one thing, I mean, maybe we'll just touch on this, then we'll hop off. But he mentioned it. Biggie mentioned it about Danny's team, right? He's like, they're all great players, but I don't know who's going to point on the one side. And he mentioned that Danny was going to, and I know we've had that discussion too, because this is a 2-man each side tournament, back wall dead. So definitely a little bit of different strategy. And I'm happy that Anthony and Dante have been playing in these tournaments, because it brings a whole different strategy, so you guys can help Carmen and I out. But we're also talking about our lineup and how we want to go about it. And I know we've sent texts back and forth about who should do what, because we do have some hybrid players. So it's just interesting. I'm sure a bunch of other teams are talking about that as well. We're not going to give our secrets away. So I know everybody's trying to scout like Connor Stallions.
I have to give. I know we kind of like uttered and mentioned it throughout the episode, but Biggie has a lot of help from his wife Lauren, and I'm sure his daughter as well. So we got to shout them out because I know they do a lot, and just for putting up with Biggie. We say a lot of good things about him, but I'm just kidding.
Cooge, anything you want to add before we close off?
No, I mean, I think you guys covered it. I mean, Chris, I'm excited it's your first time down there. I think if we can highlight a couple things, I love the idea of doing the room like MTV. That'd be awesome. I think the thing is,
Yeah, that was top of the head, but I'm doing it. I have a camcorder and a charger and extra cassettes. We're doing it.
yeah, I mean, everyone's going to want to get in this tournament, just like these other tournaments. I mean, the more that people are finding out like these round robins kind of styles where, you might spend 2 or 3 days away, but you're getting the value out to go to a tournament like this. I'd rather do 4 of these a year and that's it, because this is the experience. Like Chris, once you experience it, I'm telling you, you're going to be like, when's the next one like this?
All right. Hopefully we could do that. And I mentioned it earlier in the podcast, Cooch, how we're going to try and do the Bocce Bro Open or Cup, or I forget what do we even call it, this spring. So I know we tried imitating what Big E did last year, and we got some feedback. So maybe that could be something that a lot of people could look forward to after experiencing or seeing this tournament. So, hell yeah. Cooge, you've had a good fall.
Yeah, good. Hoping to carry it with you guys to Dallas. So,
Well, I better
Just
see
gotta
you
play
point
every
like you have been.
yeah, I'm ready.
So excited. All right. Well, we're going to close it off here, everybody. Thank you guys for tuning in. Carmen, do you have anything else before we bounce off?
See you this weekend.
Hell yeah. We're definitely got to get some vlogging out there. Several people have talked to me about, hey, you guys have good faces and personalities.
Good faces.
I mean, Sean Fodderelli said it. He's like, you guys need to like go out and vlog. Like, I don't know what you're doing. We never see you on camera. So
That's funny.
just to get the whole experience, we'll do the flight down, maybe some Airbnb stuff, obviously the tournament. So look out for that on YouTube within the next month or so. The show is brought to you by Forever Lawn. Improve spaces and communities through innovation synthetic grass solutions, whether it's for your bocce courtyard, football field, playground, etc. Forever Lawn specializes in creating the best synthetic grass for all of your needs, as well as watertight roofing systems. When local homeowners and community property owners want excellent customer service and exceptional roofing, siding, and gutter installation, they contact the one and only roofing contractor that delivers everything under one roof. Watertight roofing systems. Call them at 844-448-ROOF. Again, that's 844-448-ROOF. With that said,
Got that dog in him.
roof.